Hello, my friends. This is Toadman once again. Today, I am going to talk to you about the most recent MetaZoo hour that occurred on 6/16. It was the third one of the new regime. I'm a little late. I'm sorry about that. A lot of life happenings and just drama in the community kind of made a little snowball effect that made me be able to put out this a lot later than I expected. I also want to kind of chase Escaped Aliens review because he does a really concise yet detailed review of the MetaZoo hour, and I want to be able to piggyback off that so I can just be able to refresh myself and also give you a review rather than just a recap. I'm not going to do a detailed recap. I don't think that's something that I excel in. I excel in just giving you my feelings about it and cutting to the chase. So I have a lot to go over, so I'm going to cut to the chase, like I just said. So first and foremost, he asked everyone questions. It was Charlie asking us the questions for once, which was kind of cool. Overall, this was a really good MetaZoo hour. It was just another kind of hangout spot. It didn't wasn't a lot of info. It's like life changing info, but it was a lot smoother. He's really getting the hang of being able to talk quicker and just be entertaining. And a lot of people who were trolls or just people who were causing disruptions in previous ones have either been muted or moved on to different things in their life, which is great. So there wasn't a lot of just nonsense that's going on. But there was a lot of questions in the beginning that was just geared towards us as a community, just to be able to talk and kind of like an icebreaker. I think that was cool. I don't think it changed anything, but I thought that was a good starting point. So then he talked about the flex decks. The flex decks are coming out, and they are late. They're late by about 2 weeks. We should have gotten notice from the distro. If you got cardio like I do, they don't give you any information whatsoever. So I was just sitting waiting by the door for boxes that never came. So yeah, that's an issue, but looks like it's being resolved. So he said that in the quality control process, they noted something and they wanted to reprint them. So that's what took the time. The second thing that he talked about, as far as another thing about the SKUs, was that the base set is out of print, which is great news because a lot of people like Quote and Cardio, which is Hobby Club right now, they overbought. They bought way more than demand, and now they're liquidating and kind of selling them for cheaper. And I think that if people know that they're out of print, it might increase the demand for these boxes and kind of at least hold the price steady rather than keep coming down. So we also talked about cost versus practicality. Kind of wanted to make things change. People were asking about, hey, what about a different hollow pattern? What about this and that? What about box toppers? What about box bottomers or something that I brought up? And he said, well, we can think about all these things, but it makes the process more complicated. You might be able to print something in America and not be able to do that in India. There might be something that might be taboo culture-wise, or it could be taboo as far as practicality of the set, of printing it, of distributing it. So he said you just kind of have to weigh and balance these things and know what he can and cannot make to be able to distribute worldwide. He also talked about more about the gameplay. He wants to not have people gatekeep higher level cards that are playable. If you're a longtime fan, it's like Wilderness had the Prism Order. Prism Order was probably the most playable card in the game, and a lot of people got them graded, and there were hard pulls and stuff like that, and they went up in price, and then the value was really high. It was hard to get them, and that's a card that every player needs. So he wants to avoid that. So that's why there's 5 prints of them off in the set, because there's different varieties. There's one of every variety, and you can be able to get them off at a cheaper price if you want to use them off in your game that are playable to your gameplay style and not have to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a card just because it has a very playable text on the card. So that sort of thing I really like, is I think that helps not only gameplay grow, but also keeps people from being sour because they can't get a hold of a card because some fool pulled 200 of them and got them all graded. It also helps people not have to pay an arm and a leg like some of these competitive card games like Lorcana and OP and stuff. They have these cards, $1,000 decks, and you can't beat the soccer mom that has more disposable income than you. It's kind of pay to play at that point. So I think that helps the game a lot. Somebody asked Charlie about the thank you cards, thank you boxes, I should say. The thank you boxes. They had a bunch of lists that they kind of compiled. I'm going to say this how I felt. Charlie was trying to say. Charlie said it in a very polite and professional manner. I took it and will redirect it in the way that I would say it. He's basically like, don't worry about how people got them. People got them because it's a marketing plan that we had. We kind of filtered the people who we thought would be buying or possibly would buy for the new set of MetaZoo. So we gave it to them. We didn't want to give them to people who bought one box 20 years ago. We wanted to give it to somebody who bought it recently because they might be somebody we can acquire when we transfer over to the new game. Fourth walls, another person asked about the fourth walls. And again, this is me translating what Charlie has said. Basically, like, stop asking me about the fourth walls. I answered this question enough. This is the last time I'm telling you. There's no fourth walls. We're not going to have fourth walls. We might have something that might be similar to that in the future where it might influence a deck or a set or gameplay on a tournament or something. But that is not what we're doing moving forward. So kind of let's move forward with the new set, not think about old two. That's basically the gist I got. Yeah, so that's basically everything. He had talked about different types of product like box toppers and coins and all that. But like I said, there's certain things that are being processed and made in certain countries. Certain places have different rules and regulations, so he doesn't want to make it more complicated. And if you do a box that has all these different things besides packs inside there and other things that are chases, you basically made a pack inside a pack. And we already got a pack, so why would we need a pack in a pack? It's just a pack in a pack. All right, so that's all I got for this week. As always, I thank you for watching. I ask you to be cool, do good, and be nice to each other. All right, y'all. I'll see you later today because I'm going to do the review of the whole week. Might show up like tomorrow morning at super early, but either way, I'll see y'all later. Thanks a lot. Peace.